The Furnace Golems are a bit of a unique enemy in the Elden Ring DLC, requiring you to poise break many of them in order to kill them efficiently. However, their poise doesn't break simply from high poise damage attacks, although poise damage does still seem to have some impact, but rather breaks better from large numbers of attacks instead. So here's some skills and weapons and Ashes of War that are pretty effective for knocking these colossus down. Rakshasa's Great Katana, while a bit of a slow weapon itself for fighting the golems, has a stellar Ash of War in Weed Cutter, which works great for cutting these golems down. The Dragon King's Cragblade's Ash of War is mostly effective not just due to its multi-hit effect, but also because you're airborne the entire time as well, avoiding most of the golem's stomp. Ancient Dragon Lightning, as far as incantation goes, also works pretty well, while also doing decent damage. Dual daggers, or any other fast-attacking power stance weapon, are also fairly effective, and any weapon with multi-hit or just low stamina cost, meaning fast attacks, are also very strong. Even though the golem can't bleed, the rapid hitting Ashe of War from the Ghiza's wheel just chews through the golem's poise very effectively, in addition to the one-handed charged attacks also having a multi-hit component, making the weapon fairly decent even without the Ashe of War. Another example of a fast-hitting power stance weapon, the Red Bear Claws works pretty effectively at knocking down these golems. The Marais Executioner's Sword's Ashe of War is another multi-hitting Ashe of War that just chews through the golem's poise. Although this weapon did demonstrate that once the golem is knocked down, the hitbox of the golem's face are actually rather thin and shallow, and penetrating attacks can actually go through the face and then not hit any hitbox at all, so watch out for that. The Dancing Blade of Ranah is an extremely effective weapon for taking these golems out, not only for the Ashe of War, which is just amazing for ramping up both the poise damage and regular damage. But being dual curved swords, its multi-hit jump attacks are also extremely effective for both jumping the stomps and attacking at the same time, giving you more options with this weapon. The Wing of Astel is another curved sword that when power stance has effective jump attacks, but what really makes it shine is the Ashe of War, which covers almost an entire leg and multi-hits with almost all parts of the attack. Probably the most effective weapon that I've found, so far at least, is the Death's Poker. The multi-hit from this weapon's Ashe of War can almost chain poise break the golems if you have enough FP and stamina, although be careful aiming the Ashe of War at the golem's head, as some parts of the attack can miss for how thin the head's hitbox is. Overall, the golems are an interesting new enemy, and aside from the ones that can only be killed via the hefty furnace pots, experimenting with how different weapons, ashes of war, spells, and incantations works well against them is pretty fun. Well, except when they land in a way that prevents you from critting them after knocking them down. Anyways, thanks for watching.